this is Tanya with 𝐂𝐤𝐭𝐡 Company, here to show you how to make this adorable 𝐂𝐤𝐭𝐡 Company gingerbread house card. It is a slimline card. If you buy it in a packet, you will get the following in there. If you see this video later and you just want to have the pieces, I'll show you what pieces you need as well. But in your packet, you should have the photograph that we can sit up here and follow along with. You will have this green card, which is really fun. It's got all of our information on it, our website, our Facebook page, our fan group page on Facebook. This is a lot of fun. We have contests. We just got done with a challenge. We have a YouTube channel where this video will be at a later date. And we also have a Pinterest page. If you take your phone and you scan this little QWERTY code, it will go directly to our website. So set that aside. You can use that later. Now, with your packet, you should have the little snowflakes. There's another one around here somewhere. You should have 3 or 4 snowflakes in there. You will have your long piece of paper folded. You'll have your back piece of paper, and you'll have your snow piece. So we're going to go ahead and just put these together real quick. If you know me or you've watched any of my videos, you know that I adore my zip dry, and there's a reason for it. Zip dry is like rubber cement in a bottle. So all you really need it is along the outside edges. Okay. And you just, when you set it down, if you set it down crooked like this and you had double stick tape, or most any other kind of glue, you would have to rip it up, and chances are you would have to use a different base. Not with zip dry. You can literally slide it into place. Just like that. Now, if you can see, there's a little over the edge. That's fine. No problem. We are just going to rub this off. And what I like about it is I like my cards. When I go to a lot of work to make cards, I don't want to have the edges all cockeyed. So this helps me get it absolutely perfect, and then it locks down. The great thing about zip dry is if you make a mistake and you want to change your paper out, say this wasn't the right color blue that you wanted, you can literally go back and pull it off. You would rub off this bottom glue and change your paper out. After about 4 to 5 minutes, you will not get this paper off without destroying everything. So that's how well it sets. Next, we're going to put on our piece of snow. And with the zip dry, you don't have to cover the whole piece of paper. You just have to go around the edges. It won't warp your paper either. So I have this, and I'm going to lay it on here, and this is why I like it so much. I want this to be nice and perfect on my paper. Just to let everybody know, this is a brand new die by KarenBerniston.com. It is made for slimline cards, and it comes in a set of 3. I think one is grass, one is snow, and one is a landscape with trees. It's wonderful. It's called the Long Nature's Edges. All right, we are going to take this and we're going to set it aside for a little while. Now, you should have a packet of pieces that are pre-cut for you. This is from the Dress Up Riley Gingerbread House sets. I absolutely love this. You will have your gingerbread house base. You will have a door that we are going to pop up. You should also have your snow that we are going to pop up. You will have 2 little gumdrop trees. You'll have a gingerbread man, of course, because it's his house. A couple candy canes, a couple lollipops, some holly, a couple trees, which is from our snow globe sets, not the gingerbread set. So if you love these trees, which I use them for everything, those are in the snow globe set. You have a little lollipop sucker right there. And you have this piece of paper, which has all your gumdrops, 3 candy cane sticks, and 4 peppermint patties. I cut those out ahead of time because I'm quite sure no one wants to spend 5 minutes and watch me fussy cut, because I don't like to fussy cut and I go really fast and I make mistakes. So anyway, we're going to color. This is a lot of coloring, but it goes fairly fast. The gingerbread house we're going to save till the end, and we're going to get all the easy pieces done first. I use Copics, but you'll notice I swap back and forth between sketches and chows. I will tell you all the colors as I go, for those of you that are purists and want the exact colors. I will also put the colors in the video so that you can look at it first and get your colors before you start. So let's just start with everything that has red on it, which is all of the peppermints, right? And it's really easy. Oh, and the holly, of course. And my fingers stick to everything. So we're just going to color in everything that is red. And if you really love to color and you want to take way more time than we are today, you can definitely make these shaded and take a lot more time than I do. But for the purposes of this video, you'll get the idea. You can also pause it and continue to color if you want. I just trimmed up all my fingernails, and it does not lend to doing these very well if you have a ton of pieces, a little piece of paper. So I'm just finishing up those. I'll move on to my large candy canes. And we're just going to color those in real quick. I always like to go off the edge of the paper because it gets rid of that little white cut line. This set, of course, has the gingerbread set, has the matching dies. And we're going to finish these up real quick. Okay, now that we have these done, if you do want a little bit of shading to go underneath them, they're going to crisscross like this. So we want the underside to maybe be a little bit darker. Got my finger already. All you have to do is use the same marker and go back in and just add a little bit more color. It will shade it just a tad. You don't always need 2 markers to shade. I'm not sure that you can see that as far down as it is. But adding a second color, or the same color twice, does give it a little darker of color. So if you can see that in there. Okay. So we're going to set those aside, and then we'll go to our peppermints, which won't take long at all. I always like to start in the center, and these do take a very light touch with your Copic markers. Oh, I told you I'd tell you what color I was using, didn't I? And I didn't. It is R29. And if you want, these don't have to be all red and white. You can make some of them red and green, or you can make them any color you want. But just for the sake of this card that we're making, this exact card, we're just going to do them all red and whites. Oopsie. And if you go outside the lines, it's okay. We don't care. All right. And one more little peppermint patty to do. All right. And then all we have left is a Peppermint Lollipop that we're going to do with the red. And you'll notice that these little pieces really do go quick. I'm not sure I would want to do 100 of these cards because you'd be coloring peppermint forever. You probably dream of peppermint. All right, so now I have those done, and I'm just going to set all my peppermint pieces aside. And we're going to grab, okay, that was our 29. Okay, for those of you that are wondering about the red, I'm going to take a true green, which is a G07. Okay. And for those of you that wonder, if you know Copics, I'll give you a quick little lesson here. If you know Copics, they have two ends, right? They have a chisel end, which I rarely use, and the brush end, which I almost always use. Now, it took me forever I was always opening the wrong end. And I never knew which end was the brush end. If you look on here, one of the best days of my coloring history is when I figured out that every brush end has this little gray band around it. It's always the brush end. I never knew that. And there's some of you out there laughing at me, and that's okay. And there are others of you out there going, oh, awesome. And that's what I did the first time I figured it out. So there you go. There's one holly piece and another holly piece. And what I did in the beginning with this set when I first got it, I stamped a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of everything, stamped them all. And then I went back and I cut them all out. And then when I went to do my card, I had all of these pieces of candy ready to go. And I could literally decorate my Gingerbread Land any way I chose, with any different pieces parts. And that would also be a fun way to do Christmas cards with this set, because no two would ever be the same. All right, so now let's move on to, let's do our lollipops. Do you guys remember these lollipops? These were those, they came in pink and purple and yellow, I believe. So for our sake, we're gonna do them in purple. And I used to love them. I remember getting them at the swimming pool during the summer. So see how easy that is? I'm going to do the whole thing. And do the whole thing. And this purple color is V15. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go back and do the bottom parts again. Just so that top line stands out. And there we have shading using just one marker. If you're watching this video and you wonder why I like Copics, it's because they're alcohol-based markers and they blend beautifully. I hope everybody can see this. They're little teeny pieces, but see how two colors can make, or one marker can make two colors? And there you have it. All right. I like Copics because Copics are refillable. There's a 𝐂𝐭 marker, which are these, and there's a sketch marker, which are these. One is oval, one is round, okay? They literally have the same tips on them. So if you look at these, both have a brush marker and both have a chisel marker. The only difference between these, they are these same markers, same markers, except this one holds about ½ an ounce more ink when you refill them. That's it. These come in about 320, 30 colors. I'm not exactly the count. And this comes in 120, 30, 40, 140 colors or something like that. When I first started out, these are the ones I bought because they're less expensive. These are a little more expensive, but I use these to add on to my colors. So just to let you know, some people love having all the same kinds, and that's fun too. Me, I don't care. These have the number on the end of them, which I really like. These don't. But other than that, they're the same marker, and you'll see me interchange them out a lot. So now let's work on our gumdrop trees. So we're going to use the same V15 marker, and we are going to add some purple. Little gumdrops. And you can either use the picture that was included in your kit, or you can use this video to decide which gumdrops want to be purple, or you can just randomly do them, whichever one you like. My favorite gumdrops are the red ones and the green ones. I like the peppermint and the cherries. I do not like orange gumdrops. And I do not like pink gumdrops. Not at all, flavor-wise. However, now let's take a yellow marker, and this is 𝐤𝐢𝐴. It's a brighter yellow. And we're just going to fill in a couple more. And we'll put one over here. And we'll put one at the top. And you can, of course, make your gumdrop trees different. I'm making mine both the same. And I think I'll make a yellow gumdrop over here too. And next up, let's pull a bright pink. So let's go RV23. All right, that's a red violet 23, and it's very bright. And I think these are watermelon. I'm not for sure. Ick. But they're cute, all made up. Do one over here. And one over there. And we need a couple pink ones for here. Now again, if you want to go back in color, you can always use the same marker. If you want to go back in and shade, I'm sorry, you can use the same marker to shade, and it will give you shading just by going over the areas that would be darker. Again, next we will grab a yellowish greenish, let's see, let's do 𝐤𝐢𝐴, okay? And we're going to do one up here. And if sometime, we're going to do one down here. And if when you cut out your pieces, you'll notice that some of mine have a little edge here that I just kind of missed. And it's okay. Once you color it, it just kind of disappears. No one really catches it. And people that get this card will be so amazed that you went to all the trouble to do this. Oh, I'm going to do a couple of these. That they're not going to say, oh, you're outside the lines. Except for my niece, of course. And I sent her a card one time, and she opened it up, and she said, hey, Dad, I know this is from Aunt Tanya. And he said, how do you know that? And she said, because she colored outside the lines. And that's my niece. There you go. I am going to use 𝐤11 for the other little one, only because I forgot an orange marker. So there you go. If you would like to use orange, use an orange marker and get a little orange gumdrop that way. Or you can just do it a paler yellow. And that was 𝐤11. All right. Now, moving along, we've got our gum. Whoops, we need another gumdrop. So let's just do him a darker green, 𝐒𝐿7. All right. Okay, now we have all of our gumdrops done, and we're going to set those aside. And our gumdrop trees, if you want, you can make little gumdrop bases for them. 𝐒𝐿21 is what I use. It looks kind of like a brown. Okay, 𝐒𝐿21 for the base of the gumdrop trees. And all of these individual markers we will use again later in the house, so you will get a chance to see the colors again. Now the only thing that we have left to do is our Gingerbread Man, and we are going to color him 𝐒33 because that is the perfect gingerbread color, and I am literally just covering the whole thing. E33 is probably one of my very favorite colors, and I'm going to go over him twice because I want him a little darker. Okay. We're going to go over him in a little while with a white marker or a white pen just in these little spots. But that's just your Gingerbread Man. If you want to shade him a little darker, you can use E35, my second favorite color. Maybe his toes were a little more cooked than normal, you know, a little crispy on the edges of his hands, maybe around the top of his head. There you go. And if you want to do your stripes now, if you want to do your frosting, I just use a Jelly Roll pen. We can go ahead and do that now. It's just a Jelly Roll medium pen. And I just come in exactly where the icing shows. Okay. Put a little couple dots for his mouth. And I'm even going to make his little eyes white. You can do black if you wish. And there you have it. Our Gingerbread Man is decorated. That will be the fastest gingerbread cookie you ever decorate. Right there. So now let's move on to our trees. Some of you may have seen me do this before. Bear with me. It's a little different. I like to look at trees. Hang on. I need a drink of coffee. All right. I'm going to take a yellow. Yes, yellow. I'm going to take our Y11 that we've used. And all I'm going to do is just run some yellow in the center of each one of these trees. Okay? Because trees aren't all green. If you think about it, if you look out your window, you're going to see that a tree is not completely all green. They are different shades and different colors of greens and yellows and browns. So the next color I'm going to use is a YG23. And I'm just going to come in and just lay some color down on here. Okay, over most of it. Don't cover up all your yellow, but you'll cover up some of it. Again, I go over my edges. Okay, very random. And I like to just go along the outside and get all those edges. Because getting rid of those little white edges actually makes it look better colored. I don't know why. It just does. It makes it look finished, I guess. All right, so now we've laid down our second lightest color, okay? And that was YG23. So now we're going to add in YG06. It's a brighter, happy color green. See? And we're going to bring it in not everywhere. Not everywhere. Just some of the spots that would be a little darker, especially back in underneath here. All right. Down in under here. And if you imagine the sun being up here, then you'll kind of figure out. So we won't touch the top, but we'll touch under these branches right there and underneath those little spots. If you wanted your sun to come in from this direction, then everything over here would be dark and everything over here would be light. And I can color that little spot in too. Okay, and we're just going to do the same thing under here. So you'll see that, some of that yellow is still poking through. It doesn't really look like yellow, but it's lighter. And be very random with this. Trees are perfect only because they're imperfect. So you don't want to be too too bent on perfection here. So there we go. We've got, what, 1, 2, I don't know how many colors now. All right. So next, I'm going to take a G14, and this is going to be my darker spots. This is not a yellow green. This is a green green. And always test your colors on a piece of paper before you use them next to the color you used before. And that way you'll know how much difference there is and how much you need to put on as far as space-wise. So with this, I'm going to be very limited with this green, and it's only going to go under the other branches. So this one in this spot right here would definitely be green. Okay, back behind here is all going to be dark. Okay, little under this guy, and definitely under where it hangs over. All right, and then back down in here and under here. All right, see the difference? Just a little bit more color makes. Again, we're just going to go back in and do all of this color back in here. Back in there. And then of course those little edges. And if you just do like downward strokes, it kind of looks like a tree anyway, like little tree branches anyway. Little happy trees. All right, there we have it. Now we're going to come back and we are going to grab our white pen. And what we're going to do with that is we're just going to add some snow, just in really random strokes, okay? We're not coloring in anywhere. We're just putting some on the branches in little spots. And of course up here on the top, right? Do this one as well. I've had a lot more chance to color since we've had to stay home this year, and what I have found, normally I'm on the road doing shows and doing the business end of things, and I don't really get a chance to play as much as I should. And so doing these videos has helped me realize that coloring is extremely relaxing. And I know most of you know that, but I did not. Okay, so we're going to come back for our tree trunks, and we're going to grab our E33 again. And we're just going to go down along here. Okay. And those. All right, now again, we are going to come back and use the same marker, but just on half of the tree trunk now, and it's going to create a shadow. Okay, the shadows, of course, would be down along the ground more. So we're just going to do half of the tree trunk, all of it under here, half of it there, and some around the bottom. Okay, and some underneath the tree itself, because that's where shadows would be. All right, and we are done with our trees. See how quick that went? Easy peasy. I use these trees on everything. I've already told you that once. So now we're building up our stash of colored pieces. Now we get to go to the gingerbread house. All right, you'll have your top here and your door here. We are going to do those later. Okay, this we are not going to color at all. We're just going to use the stickles. If you bought a kit for the Mega Make and Take, your stickles were in there, but we will get to those later. So the first color that we are going to grab to do our gingerbread is an E21, and it sounds really strange, but it's really not. And all we're going to do is just put a layer of alcohol ink, basically, in a very light color, down on the whole thing that is going to be brown, okay? So you don't necessarily have to get up under the easements, under the snow, but I want you to do little circles like this. Go along your window lines, do little circles like this. And the reason I'm saying we don't need to go under the snow parts is because we want to keep this light, and there's nothing that's going to be light back up in here. And there will be plenty of ink back up in here, so we don't need to lay any alcohol ink down either. So, just along the edge. And you notice that it's not real fancy. We are going to see very little of this color anyway. But we are going to see a little bit of it because we want our shadows, a lot of shadows on this house. All right, so there's our first color that we laid down. That was E21. Okay, it's called Baby Skin Pink, and it is a great color for skin. Next, we're going to grab our E33, my favorite marker. And we are going to start up in under the snow pieces, under the roof. Now, you don't have to be extremely precise on this because we're going to lay another piece on top of it. So, if you get a little bit on your snow, it's okay. We're going to lay this on top. However, try to be careful. All right, we're just going in and grabbing all this color under here, and then we're going to spread it out. I tend to turn my pieces because I'm right-handed, and I find that I have a better angle if I can just keep my hand straight and turn my pieces. And I hope you can see these with my hand in the way. My poor chewed up hand. We just got a new kitten. And it's been many, many years since I've had a new kitten, and I forgot how sharp their little claws and teeth can be. All right. Now, okay, so we've got our basic layer here. So now I'm just going to use circles to bring it down in under here. We're definitely going to cover all this up. And again, think of where your shadows are going to be, okay? So the most part, the biggest part that's going to be light is going to be right in here. So we want to try to avoid that with a ton of color. But at this point, don't be scared to put too much color on because we have got layers to add still. All right, so I'm going to go around my door. Okay. And one of the darkest places on the house is going to be down around the bottom. There's lots of shadows. So you can definitely get color over in there. And we'll keep going around our house. Again, I'm going to pull a lot of color out in here. Okay, so in the lighter areas, there are a little bit more on here. So in the lighter areas here, I'm not going to go over them with this. I'm going to come back and grab my E21 marker. And I'm just going to go in circles here and blend it in And if you go in circles, it'll pick up part of the other color and blend into a really nice color. So now we're going to come back again with our 𝐒𝐵33, and we're going to do this again, but the same thing that we did before. However, we're not going to color as much of it. We're going to start shading out on this now. So now we've got a lighter spot in here, and we're going to come back in and grab the same color and just pull it down. And you will notice that it starts blending in. By the time you get to the end of one, it will be blending in with the previous layer that you laid down. Now, I would suggest, if you plan on making several of these cards, and I've had a lot of people ask me if it was possible, if it's okay to do it. Yes, once you get one of these houses done, if you're going to spend this much time coloring it, here's a little trick. Photocopy it, color copy it, and then all you have to do is die cut it out, and you don't have to color this house for days on ends, unless you want to, of course, and then you can. Now, again, down in here, I'm going to pull full color back in here. Okay, and I'm going to take a thinner line this time around my door. Not as thick as I had before, just a thinner line. That's another plus that I really like about Copic markers, is the tip is very, very tiny, and it packs a lot of ink in that little tiny tip, so you can get into spaces like that. All right, and believe it or not, I am going to go back over this a third time. I'm going to run a real quick third time. I'm going to go around my, and I'm going to even color less of where I did last time. Can you see that? So this time I'm just going to try to get underneath the icicles, or frosting. Frosting, it's frosting. All right, so now we're getting that gingerbread look, right? All right, that was 𝐒𝐵33. So far we've used 𝐒21 and 𝐒𝐵33. Now we're going to move on to our 𝐒𝐵35, and we are going to use this very, very sparingly. Okay, very sparingly. We're going to start up underneath our frosting and use just a tiny bit. Use a very light hand here. All we really want is the shading. That's all we really want. Just a little bit of shading. All right, now continuing on. All the way down. And if you notice, I'm just making really light kind of feather marks, because I'm going to come back with my 𝐒𝐵33 and blend those in. Now on this side of the house, that's where we're going to add a little more darker color, because like I said, this is the darkest part in here. Okay, so being really careful not to get any on the stripe. We're not going to color that in because we are going to layer it out. Actually, we might color just the red in. All right, now this is where you're going to want a very light hand. We're just going to feather that up. Okay, come back over here and get the base of this. And I use a lot in this corner. All right, so there we have it. Now we are going to just set this aside for a second, come back in with our E33, and we're going to do little baby circles and blend out any harsh marks that we have. Okay. Just so it keeps that little bit of shadow that we have here. Okay, now one last time, I promise, we are going to come in with, our E35 one last time, and we're just going to touch underneath here. Don't even pull it down, we're just going to touch it. You guys are beginning to understand why I said photocopying is a good thing, right? Color copying. All right. The only other place that we're going to bring more in is right down here on the bottom. And we're just going to kind of feather it up, okay? Turn it around and just feather up the bottom again. Okay, now we have it. We are done with the gingerbread portion. I'm going to bring a bright yellow 𝐤𝐢𝐴, and I'm going to come in and fill in my windows. Fill this window in and that window in. We're not going to worry about these windows right now, but we are going to grab our extra door piece and we're just going to fill those in. Just like that, okay? You can take the same marker again and just go in the corners, and it will create a little bit of shading for you, and down in here along the corners. I just love how one marker, I'll say it again, you've heard me so many times, one marker can give you so many colors. Okay, moving along. I'm going to take my red R29 and I'm going to fill in my little hearts. All right, I'm going to be very careful and touch the window candy canes that are on the window and do them. And the next thing is you're going to be able to see it. So we're going to go ahead and color in all the stripes in here. Now keep in mind that if you get a little on the inside of the door, it's okay, because it's going to be covered up. You just need to make sure that the outside is nice and pretty. And all of you that are coloring purists out there are cringing right now that I'm going over the lines intentionally, but it's okay because we're going to cover it up with a different door. All right, so we have that done, and all we need to do is add the curtains and the chocolate trim. I think I'm going to take my green, let's do the G14, and we're gonna make the little curtains. You can make your curtains any color you want. I am gonna make mine green, just because it looks kind of Christmassy. During Halloween time, I'm going to take this house and turn it into a haunted house and make these orange and purple. So now I'm going to take a E37. It's the darkest brown I'm going to use today. And whoops, I didn't pay attention. See that? Look at that. And all I'm going to do is come along and fill these in. And make my little chocolate windows. Or gingerbread windows. Guess you could call them that too. But I prefer to think that it's chocolate frosting. I cannot wait to show you my next video, because have I got a treat for you, and it is gingerbread house related. So make sure you follow along. All right. Oh, and these. So these little swirls right here, I just add those in. You can make those white too if you want. I like to make mine out of chocolate frosting. So there we have it. Our gingerbread is finally done. And the last thing that we have to do is our door. Everybody's going, whew! This has been a lot of coloring. But wait till we get it done. So red tends to get very cranky when it's combined with when it's picked up with another color. So I'm going to do my door piece first. And for this, I'm going to make how I determined the door color is I kind of took the color of our backgrounds and kind of matched it up. So I'm going to do a teal blue, and I'm just going to lay down full color on it. All right, and instead of circles, I'm just going to pull this all straight down because the lines are going that way for the wood. Okay, now you can shade with this color if you would like, or you can, oh, sorry, forgot to tell you, BG32 and BG13. Okay, the BG13 is a little darker, and that's what I was going to use to shade, and I'm just going to bring it in underneath the candy cane and along one side and along the bottom. Okay, I am going to come back along the bottom of my original piece and just add some green because you'll be able to see. So when we do this, you'll be able to see over the edge. So the only thing we have left to do is add the red, and we can start assembling. So I really wish these videos, sometimes I wish, but I do these live. Some people do them professionally and then edits. I'll be real honest with you. I don't know how to edit a video. I wish I did. I have everything I need to edit. But I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and do it yet. So you get to hear me jabble the whole time we're coloring. And this would be the time, if I knew how to professionally edit, we would fast forward, but then it really wouldn't be a make and take because you guys wouldn't follow along in real time. So you get me. This little house, if you live up north, it'd be a cute little spring house too. You could do it in spring colors. Little yellow house. Put some Easter eggs around it. If you still have snow at Easter. For Halloween, I'm going to make the snow green and make it goo. All right, folks, we are done coloring. Give yourself a hand. Yay! So now we're going to start assembling. So let's assemble this piece first. We're going to assemble the pieces and then we're going to put them on our card. So I am going to take, I want to pop this up. So we are going to take some foam tape. And I'm just going to lay it down. On my card. And we are going to add this right on top. Now, can you see why I colored the edges, just the edges? Okay, next up, we're going to add our snow roof on. And I like to just take little thin strips of foam tape. You can use pop-up dots if that's what you use. I do like to get a couple down here on the edges just to kind of secure it in place. And I do find that when I layer stuff like this on top of foam tape, I like to stand up. I feel like we're at a ball game and we need a 7th inning stretch here. So I'm going to pull off my tape. See my poor hands. Kitty teeth are sharp. All right. So now we are going to just lay this right on top. Just like that. All right. And now we're going to put everything on our card finally. So let's get our zip dry back out. And we are going to lay these trees down first with our zip dry. And put a tree there. Okay. And you can move it if you want. I had mine a little cockeyed. We're going to take this. And we are going to put him right there. Alrighty, let's grab a lollipop. And you can put your candy wherever you choose. If you don't like where I have it, that's okay too. I'm going to grab a little candy cane stick. And I'm just going to touch it right there. I'm going to put a couple dots right here in the corner so I can add some of our little peppermint candies. There-da-da. And there we go. And I took one of the little, oops, I glue on my hand too. Okay, then I'm going to take one of the peppermint candies and put up here on the top. And I'm going to put a little dot on the door so I can put some of my holly. Okay, and one of my candies up here. All right, now I'm going to take one of my candy canes and I'm going to tuck it right underneath the snow so it looks like it's back in behind. And we'll spin that forward and put a little bit of glue. All right, let's grab our next set of trees. And put those there. We are going to put a little bit of glue on this guy, and I'm going to tuck one underneath the snowbank back here. The photo that you have probably has an ornament right here in the corner for staging, and it doesn't let you see where to put everything, which is kind of silly, but you guys are smart, so I figured that you would get it. All right, so we're going to put another little, okay, so this time let's cross these over. So these little candy canes are going to go like this. I'm going to put my first one down like that. I'm going to cross my second one over. And I am going to put a little dot here, and a little dot here, and a little dot here, and some glue here, because I'm just going to start adding pieces, parts. So I'm going to add a peppermint here. I'm going to add some holly here. I am going to add some gumdrops there. This is when you need your picker-upper tool. Add some gumdrops there. And there. Oops. And there. And my little snow guy, this little guy came off up here. I'm just sticking back up there. You can also make a really cute fence with these as well. Now I'm going to put my gingerbread man down. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some foam to my trees. I do believe this is the longest video I have ever done for virtual events. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm going to put those there. And that right there. And the last thing we have to add, everyone, is our snowflakes. And you know how to glue those on. 3 little snowflakes. Now, you may have extra pieces. I do. And that's okay too. But there is your card. Now, you have a bottle of stickles if you bought the Mega Make and Take kit, and you have a bottle of Glossy Accents. The Glossy Accents would go on your suckers and your candy canes and your windows. Your stickles would go on anywhere there's snow. And I am very, very random with it. Don't forget to put snow down around the feet of anything that you stuck in so it looks like it's in a little snowbank. And up around the edge. And I always put a little snow right there. You are finished. I am finished. Thank you very much for joining me. And you will want to watch our segments that has the special for this event. You are going to love it. I might show you a hint. Not supposed to, but maybe just a hint. Bye. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Tanya with 𝐤𝐢𝐭𝐡 Company. I have got some fantastic fun for you today. This is going to be a quick video. If you just did the make and take with me, it was a marathon and we got her done, and it's cute. But just wait, I've got something so fun for you. Hang on just a second. Let me get you turned around and I'll show you. Yep, someday, I promise, someday I will get this fixed. And everybody will think, oh no, we don't have to deal with her turning stuff around anymore. Alrighty, ready for this? Ready for this? It's a gingerbread event, right? It's a gingerbread event. So we have two specials today for you. The first being is a gift with purchase. I am so proud of this. This is our Gingerbread House Kit. You will get this free with any $75 purchase. It makes this. It comes with 71 pieces. 71 pieces. The house piece and all these decorator pieces. In a bag. It looks just like this. You can leave it, make the house and decorate it and leave it this gorgeous, beautiful wood color, which I've done here. Okay. It comes with a 2020 as well. Or you can use your markers, your paints, whatever you choose. Add a little crystal lacquer, some stickles, and turn it into this. It's a gingerbread house ornament. I love it. And you get it free. Completely free with a $75 purchase. It's awesome. If you don't want to do that and you want to purchase these individually, or you get one free and you want more for your grandkids, what a great thing to do with a set of children. Sit around, have them build their own house and use all their pieces and make their own kits. We are also going to have a contest, a gingerbread house building contest in the month of January. So we're just going to kind of keep the spirit alive. Okay. But we want to see what you've done with these, and we're going to have a contest with our gingerbread house kits. All right. Free with a $75 purchase, or they're $12.95 a kit. So there is our first special. Our second special for the day is 20% off all of the Dress Up Riley. All the Dress Up Riley, especially since our kit, I'm looking specifically for one that I just did, especially since our kits used the Dress Up Gingerbread. This is Dress Up Riley, and I just did a whole bunch of new samples, so I am going to take a couple minutes and run through the different sets with you, but on samples. Now, it starts with your basic red rubber gingerbread. I've got gingerbread on the brain. It starts with your basic Dress Up Riley set. You either get 2 moose or you get a cow in both of these positions. Now, all of the sets are clear stamps. These are red rubber. All of the dress up sets are clear stamps with matching dies. Think paper dolls. So we're going to start with Naked Moose. All right. And if you grab the birthday accessory set, you can turn it into this. All right. If you grab the Under the Sea set, you can have a mermoose or a mercow. Riley also has a camping dress-up sets. Has little s'mores and the fire. Is that hilarious? I just love this so much. Here is your gingerbread sets done in a different way. Again, all of these are 20% off. Dress Up Riley Professional set. You have a fireman, you have a police officer, you have a construction worker, and I believe there's also a briefcase and a phone in that set as well. Here's a Dress Up Beach set. You could put little lights for Christmas on your palm tree. We have a Dress Up Party set. I love this. And here's all of the different pieces that go in that. We have a Valentine St. Patrick's Day set. Isn't he cute? Here's our Dress Up Sports set. Okay, there's a soccer ball, volleyball, baseball. I believe it also has golf in it as well. Okay. Set those aside for a second. And we have Dress Up Halloween. All the different Halloween sets. Pirate, vampire. Riley has his own fishing boat in the dress-up fishing set. Spring showers with a little duck and sunshine. Welcome spring. We have dress-up winter accessories. Cow with a scarf. It has snowballs in it. So much fun. This is one of my favorites, and you can also turn this into a gingerbread house as well. This is our dress-up North Pole. All right, here's our summer fun sets, 4th of July. And a Kiss the Cook barbecue apron comes with it. All kinds of fun stuff in the summer fun. Here is our dress-up Christmas Riley. A Santa suit, an elf suit. I believe there's a Mrs. Claus in there. And antlers that look fantastic on Bert. We have a dress-up Halloween 2 set that has a witch's outfit and bats. All of this stuff for these little bases that we have here. And we have a new base coming out soon. This is one of my favorites. The Dress Up Love Bus set. Isn't that fun? Another one of my faves. A dress-up motorcycle set. He has his own motorcycle. Helmets, chaps, all of that. I will say, on the dress-up Riley, when you put him in chaps, make sure that you color in some jeans for him underneath. Otherwise, well, you get my gist. Dress-up Winter 2, snowboarding. We even have a dress-up farmer set where he has his own tractor. We have a dress-up fall sets where there are corn stalks and fences and pumpkins and I don't know what that is, and a scarecrow. And finally, there's a dress-up Sophie accessories where it has a pie and a basket and all kinds of fun stuff in that set to make Sophie the moose. You guys say, who is Sophie? Well, this is Riley, but if you put a bow in Riley's hair, it becomes Sophie. Same with the cow. Bernie or Bessie, either one. So that is part of the dressed up sets. You can find them at rileyandcompanyonline.com. 20% off for this event. And please don't forget, if you spend $75, you get our gingerbread house making kits. To let you guys know, this is solid wood. These are wood. And they just snap into place. I use wood glue on mine. You can use any kind of glue, but I actually did drop one and they stayed in place, just snapping them in. All right. You can paint them or leave them blank, free with a $75 purchase. All right. Or only $12.95 a piece. Thanks a bunch. And thanks for joining me today.